Canto 10, Chapter 5, the meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. Text number 19. Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nandaha Kamsasya Varshikyam Nanda Kamsasya Varshikyam Nanda Kamsasya Varshikyam Karam Datum Kurudvaha Karam Datum Kurudvaha Karam Datum Kurudvaha Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nandakam Sasya Varshikyam Karam Datum Kurudvaha Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nandakam Sasya Varshikyam Karam Datum Kurudvaha Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nandakam Sasya Varshikyam Karam Datum Kurudvaha Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Nandakam Sasya Varshikyam Karam Datum Kurudvaha Gopan Gokula Rakshayam Nirupya Mathuram Gataha Dakkam Sasya Varshikyam Karam Datum Kurudvaha Gopan, the cowherd men, Gokula Rakshayam, in giving protection to the state of Gokula, Nirupya, after appointing Mathuram to Mathura, Gataha went, Nandaha, Nanda Maharaj, Kamsasya of Kamsa, Varshikyam, yearly taxes, Karam, the share of profit, Datum, to pay, Kuru Udvaha, O Maharaj Parikshit, the best protector of the Kuru dynasty. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami continued, Thereafter, my dear King Parikshit, O best protector of the Kuru dynasty, Nanda Maharaj appointed the local cowherd men to protect Gokula and then went to Mathura to pay the yearly taxes to King Kamsa. Please repeat this translation after me. Shukadeva Goswami continued. Thereafter, my dear King Parikshit, O best protector of the Kuru dynasty, Nanda Maharaj appointed the local cowherd men to protect Gokula and then went to Mathura to pay the yearly taxes to King Kamsa. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Because the killing of babies was going on and had already become known, Nanda Maharaj was very much afraid for his newborn child. Thus he appointed the local cowherd men to protect his home and child. He wanted to go immediately to Mathura to pay the taxes due and also to offer some presentation for the sake of his newborn son. For the protection of the child, he had worshipped various demigods and forefathers and given charity to everyone's satisfaction. Similarly, Nanda Maharaj wanted not only to pay Kamsa, the yearly taxes, but also to offer some presentation so that Kamsa too would be satisfied. His only concern was how to protect his transcendental child, Krishna. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the narration continues after describing the celebration of Krishna's birth. What did Nanda Maharaj do? He wanted to go to Mathura to pay the annual taxes to King Kamsa. And because there was danger for the child, newborn child, therefore he appointed the local cowherd men to protect Gokula. And then he went to Mathura. Now, the Bhagavatam describes basically Krishna's pastimes, or the pastimes of Supreme Lord, or the pastimes of his devotees, pure devotees. The stress is for glorification of Krishna and Krishna's incarnations, Krishna's pure devotees. That's the basic content of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But our acharyas, they give us some more details for us to appreciate the glories of Krishna, his incarnation and his pure devotees. More than what is actually there in the text. So that Nanda Maharaj went to Mathura to pay annual taxes is not difficult to understand. But what we cannot easily understand is, why did he appoint the local cowherd men to protect Gokula? What is the reason? So if it is routine security arrangement, then that will not be mentioned by Shukadeva Goswami. He has mentioned it because there is a particular reason why he had to appoint local cowherd men to protect Gokula. Particular reason. What is that reason? Because the killing of babies is going on and had already become known. This Prabhupada says in the purport. You see, the reference is the beginning of this chapter itself. No, the end of the previous chapter, atrocities of King Kamsa. When Kamsa came to know that the child is already born, so then he consulted with ministers what to do now. Child is already born, which is destined to kill me. So his ministers, they're all demons. So they advised him, you harass all saintly persons who are devotees of Vishnu. And therefore, Kamsa started making plans how to protect himself against this child which is already born, to kill him. So, it is going to be described in the next chapter that Kamsa, he called one witch, Putana, and instructed her to kill all the newborn children in the neighborhood who were born in the last few days, whatever. So Putana went about killing all newborn children. And because these demons, they have mystic power, it's not easy to make out who's killing, how are they killing. Common people just cannot make out why children are dying. You see? So, it had become known that killing of babies was going on. Therefore, Kamsa became afraid of some danger to his own newborn child. So obviously, he'll take precautions. So, there should have been, we can guess, there should have been routine security arrangements even without this danger. But when there is danger, extra security. So he had to appoint local cowherd men for extra security to protect his own son. So it is described here by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Because the killing of babies is going on and had already become known, Nanda Maharaj was very much afraid for his newborn child. Now here is a very important point. That is natural for parents to be very protective of their children. That too, newborn child, if there is danger, all the more they will take steps for protection. But Nanda Maharaj, why is it being described? Nanda Maharaj took some special steps to protect his child. Because this child is not an ordinary child. And Nanda Maharaj is no ordinary cowherd man. Nanda Maharaj is pure devotee of Krishna. And Krishna, the newborn child, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here is one special feature of the residents of Vrindavan. What is that? All their activities, or most of their activities, appear to be ordinary activities. Most ordinary activities. What are they engaged in? Agriculture and cow protection. That's not something extraordinary they are doing, something special or something different. They are Vaishyas. According to Vedic culture, Vaishyas, three particular means of maintaining themselves: Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya. So, nothing special about Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men maintaining protecting cows and maintaining performing agricultural activities. Okay. But their affection, their attachment, their very life is centered around love for Krishna. What's the difference between Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavana? Both Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavana are full of pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. All are pure devotees. But the difference in their nature of devotion to the Supreme Lord is a very, very important difference. This is what is highlighted in the 10th canto. Elaborately, Ashukara Goswami explains this. Elaborately. It's a very special feature of Vraja Bhakti, as different from Vaikuntha Bhakti. Vaikuntha also, so many Vaikuntha planets, so many devotees, all pure devotees, everyone. In Vaikuntha, in Vrajadhama, everywhere, they are pure devotees. But the speciality of Vraja Bhakti is that spontaneous affection, love for Krishna. So much so that they are ready to sacrifice anything and everything, including their life, only for the sake of their love for Krishna. Sometimes in cinemas they show some hero and heroine, some love affair. And the heroine or the hero cannot, really express their love or protect the other one. If the hero dies, heroine says, I cannot live without him. She'll also commit suicide or she'll jump into some river. Or the hero, when the heroine dies untimely or separated, says, I can't live. So where is this sentiment coming from? Janmadhyasya yataha. Everything has got its origin in Krishna. Krishna, his love and his attachment and his affection for his devotees is so much, because that is the nature of the attachment and the affection and the love of his devotees for Krishna. Both of them. So, the devotion, nature of devotion in Vraja, in Vrindavan, is that Krishna is the center of their lives. Krishna is the purpose of their existence. Always they are thinking of Krishna, always engaged in some form of devotional service to Krishna. Now, why is remembering Krishna considered devotional service? What is the service there? Remembering Krishna. What is the service there? Have you ever thought of this? Remembering Krishna is devotional service. What is the service there? There is no service. At least chanting and hearing we can understand. No, there is some specific endeavor required to chant or hear, correct? We know that. But what is the devotional service involved in remembering Krishna? Can somebody answer this question? Then you'll understand what is Vraja Bhakti. Can you give him a mic?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. We not just act with the body, but also with the mind.
Huh?
Our actions, in a sense, the mental activity is also one of the activity.
Okay, we act not only through the body or the senses, we also act through words and through the mind. Okay, it's also activity. Okay, so smaranam is also activity in terms of engaging the mind, using the mind. Yes, that is correct. But isn't it a lazy activity? Compared to other activities, it's no great activity. Okay, it is activity. Technically, we may say it's an activity. What is there? Simply sit. I am remembering Krishna. And that too, nothing has to be done, because for parents, for a mother or father to remember his or her child, is it difficult? Whom she loves? There is no endeavor required. Nothing is to be done. In fact, to forget is difficult for them. Always they'll be remembering their child. So nothing is there to be done even. Even there is no endeavor at all. But how is it bhakti? And Prabhupada always says bhakti means devotional service. How is it seva to Krishna? Even let us assume it's a lazy activity or an easy activity and not so much of strenuous activity. Why is it considered bhakti, devotional service? What is the aspect of devotion in this devotional service, remembering Krishna? Now, quote one verse from Bhagavad Gita and tell me the answer. I'm coming to a Bhagavad Gita verse.
In second chapter, Krishna says, Dhyato Vishayan Pumsan Sangas Seishu Abuchayati. So when we remember, we develop attachment, and with that attachment, the activity starts. And if you want to remember, you have to love. If there is no love, you can't remember.
Very good, very good. This is a good point here. That we develop attachment because of association. Dhyayato Visha. Of course, that verse is talking negatively. If you associate with or contemplate on worldly objects of sense gratification, you develop attachment for them, and then so many problems happen. Starts with contemplation. Similarly, spiritually also, it is applicable. By contemplating or thinking of Krishna, remembering Krishna, one develops attachment for Krishna. And that is exactly what bhakti is all about. Attachment for Krishna. Attachment of Krishna means automatically detachment from everything material. Finished. All material attachment is finished. No endeavor required. Okay, that is one point, but I have some other point about remembering Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Now the strenuous activities we do, like our physical endeavor services.
Now first tell me the Bhagavad Gita words, then you elaborate on that. What is the Bhagavad Gita words? Ananyas chintayanto mam. What does it say? They are involved only in thinking of Krishna. They are my devotees. Okay. So what about them?
Krishna says, I will carry what they have and provide what they need.
If somebody is constantly thinking of Krishna, then automatically Krishna takes care of them. They don't have to do anything else. Merely thinking of Krishna is enough, without deviation. So that is pure devotional service, and it's not possible to think of Krishna like that, without deviation. Like even materially, somebody thinks of another person constantly, because we say some kind of attachment, affection, love, whatever it is. But that is in the realm of illusion, totally illusory, because it is based on the biggest illusion, I am the body, or the other person is his or her body. So this bodily attachment, bodily affection, bodily love, all it's simply illusion, because body itself is an illusion. I am the body. That's a big illusion, biggest illusion. That's starting point of illusion in this life, starting with the body. Dehapatya kalatradishu. Okay. So, if somebody is able to remember Krishna or think of Krishna constantly, always, then that is pure devotional service. Because unless that purity of love is there is no possibility of exclusively thinking of Krishna, exclusively remembering Krishna. That's not possible. Like even in the material world, you can understand, can somebody only think of one object of love? No, never possible. Mother has love for the child, mother has also love for the father. A woman has love for her child, for her husband, for her other children, for her parents, for her friends, for her relatives, for so many people. The love is distributed. That's another difference between material love and spiritual love. Material love has to be distributed. It cannot be one person. Not possible. Never. So material love is distributed because if we try to love only one person, we'll see that love is never fulfilling. It is highly inadequate. So to get more of that love, we think, let me love more people. So we get little here, very, very little. So the very little that you get, you want more. So you go on expanding. Same thing with anything material. If I take one small piece of sweet and it's very, very tasty, I want more of it. So I'll take more. That's exactly what greed is. Correct? But spiritually, Krishna Bhakti, if you get a little taste for Krishna consciousness, because Krishna consciousness is millions and billions of times more superior than any mundane experience. So you'll want more of it, naturally. The more you want, the more the supply. More you want, more the supply. And then, at what point do you stop? It's enough. Or you get saturated. No, there is no saturation in spiritual affairs. No saturation. So the more you want, the more is supply. And the more you relish, how much can you increase? There is no limit. Infinitely you can go on increasing. More and more and more and more and more. That's the nature of love between Radha and Krishna, as different from love between Krishna and all his other parts and parcels. Radharani's love for Krishna is so much that it is ever increasing. And similarly, Krishna also reciprocates. Krishna's love for Radharani also is always increasing. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, actually it becomes like a competition. How much Radharani loves Krishna or how much Krishna loves Radharani. Because Krishna loves Radharani, so Radharani loves Krishna. If Krishna increases love for Radharani, Radharani increases love for Krishna. But then Radharani increases love for Krishna, Krishna increases love for Radharani. And it goes on, it is going on. It never stops. Therefore, Radharani's love for Krishna is infinite. And Krishna's love for Radharani is infinite. Whereas we are jivas, even though Krishna can give us infinite amount of love, we are very, very tiny. Our capacity to love or to receive that love from Krishna or to give love to Krishna is always limited. So only thing we can do is, we can only give little love for Krishna. That's our capacity. But that little love, because Krishna is giving so much love and Krishna is so much lovable, we want to always keep on doing the same thing. More, let me give more, let me give more. So more and more means continuously we'll only be giving love to Krishna. So much that we'll forget the love that Krishna is giving us. That is pure devotional service. You don't anymore be concerned with the very act of giving to Krishna is itself pleasurable. In the Shastra, is more pleasurable than receiving from Krishna. More pleasurable than receiving from Krishna. So devotees tell Krishna, we don't want anything except an opportunity to serve you, to love you, to express our love for you. There's one more verse. I'll close then. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta paraspara macchitta. My devotees are always thinking of me. Always thinking of me. So always thinking of Krishna is the instruction Krishna gives as the most confidential and the topmost instruction in 18.64. It says, Sarva guhyatamam bhuyaha shrunu me paramam vachaha. Now hear my most confidential instruction and my topmost instruction. So many instructions are there of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. In the end, he gives his topmost instruction and his most confidential instruction. What is that? Manmana. Same as Macchitta. Think of me always. How does Prabhupada translate? Macchitta. The pure devotees always think of Krishna. Manmana, what does it say? Krishna's instruction to always remember me. It doesn't say Manmana literally means think of me. Manmana. But Prabhupada translates as always think of me. Because nature of that thinking of Krishna or remembering Krishna is a little thought for Krishna. If it is really there, then it's so nice, so sweet, so relishable. You want to think of Krishna more and more and more, and again and again and again and again and again, without end. In spiritual affairs, everything is eternal. Nothing has an end. Eternal means no beginning, no end. No beginning, no end. That is eternal. So, thinking of Krishna, if you begin thinking of Krishna, because the nature of anything spiritual, Krishna is completely spiritual. Thinking of Krishna is a spiritual activity. So you can't stop. You cannot stop. So we are also chanting. Haridas Thakur was also chanting. What's the difference? Haridas Thakur's chanting is pure. And what is the proof of that? That he can't stop chanting. He can't stop chanting. And why we are not able to chant like Haridas Thakur? Because the chanting is not yet pure. If it were pure, we wouldn't have stopped chanting. We would have given up every other activity, simply all the time chanting. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he received the Mahamantra and the instruction to chant that Mahamantra from his Guru, Ishwara Puri, he started chanting. And then he could not stop. So everybody said, what happened to this boy? Nimai Pandit. Great Pandit he was. So he was engaged in all kinds of scholarly activity. And then he stopped everything and simply all the time chanting. Pagal ho gaya. Something has gone wrong. Always chanting. So, that is the nature of all spiritual activities. Nature of everything spiritual. It is eternal. Material means there has to be an end. How much ever you want to increase or make it last long, but there has to be an end. There has to be an end. Brahma's life, fantastically long, but there is an end. It can't be without end. That's why we say temporary. Eternal means no end. Unending. Nitya means unending. Shashwata, permanent, means unending. No end. Eternal means unending. So, Nanda Maharaj's love for Krishna, of course, even in Vrindavan, even in Vaikuntha, the love for the devotees towards Vishnu or Narayana, the Supreme Lord, is eternal. It's not temporary. But then, it is always tinged with reverential devotion. Why? Because they are always conscious of Vishnu's greatness, his opulence, his unlimited opulence, unlimited power, unlimited knowledge, unlimited everything. So, they are always in a state of awe and reverence. They're completely bewildered in one sense by Vishnu's personality, Vishnu's opulence, Vishnu's everything. They're completely bewildered. So much so that they simply are, they lost everything, all other thoughts, all other work, all other activities, simply they are in admiration. If they are fanning, they are always fanning. Oh, Vishnu is so great. But that fanning, wonderful service, excellent service, but it is tinged with that reverential devotion. A cowherd boy is also fanning Krishna when Krishna is resting, in Vrindavan. But that fanning is not like, oh, Krishna is so great. Krishna is great. No! Krishna is so sweet. Krishna is so lovable. So they don't become bewildered. Because it is not reverential devotion, it is spontaneous devotion. So Krishna says, okay, enough fanning, now let us go back. Say, okay, let's go. That is not possible in Vaikuntha. That's not possible in Vaikuntha. So, Vaikuntha is always reverential devotion. Aishwarya Yukta Bhakti. This is described very detailed way in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. But this is very evident from all the activities of Krishna, all the pastimes described. See, Nanda Maharaj, only for Krishna he has got this kind of affection. None of the cowherd men or women, they have that kind of affection for their own children, other than Yashoda and Nanda. They have affection for Krishna. Even though they love their own children, but they always think, if I could feed my breast milk to Krishna, the elderly gopis, if I could feed my breast milk to Krishna. So Krishna satisfies that. And how did he do that? Brahma Vimohana Leela. In the material world, it has to be a special Leela. But in the spiritual world, there is no need for separate arrangement. It is always going on. It's always going on. So in the spiritual world, there is no such thing as some arrangement. In the material world, everything is to be arranged. So for Krishna to display his pastimes, there has to be appearance of Krishna. Then there has to be some parents for his appearance. As a human child, there has to be parents. Like that. So the whole thing is arranged by internal potency of Krishna. In our case, for our birth, parents have to be arranged. But who arranges? Durga Devi arranges. According to what? According to karma. Desire is fulfilled by arrangement of Durga Devi. Krishna's desire is fulfilled, or Krishna's devotees, pure devotees' desire fulfilled by Yoga Maya. Difference is, Yoga Maya doesn't have to look at any karma. Yoga Maya is only looking at devotion. Only looking at devotion. So the basis of all the activities, either of Krishna or his pure devotees, is their devotion to each other. The basis of all our activities is our karma. So Durga Devi engages us like donkeys. We are engaged in all kinds of material activities, with simply binding us, thinking, oh, I can enjoy. I am hardworking. I am intelligent. I am industrious. All these are nonsensical ideas. Because we are simply puppets in the hands of Durga Devi. Puppets in the hands of Durga Devi. And Durga Devi is created one grand illusion of reality. The way we engage in activities, everything is real. That's the way we are engaged in material activities. We don't think it is illusory when we perform these activities. But it's one grand illusion. It's all interaction of the three gunas. You read Bhagavad Gita carefully, you'll understand. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. Okay, I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.